Hello and welcome to the ABA League magazine. Today we'll speak about the 17th round in which we saw quite a few big games. Partizan hosted Olimpija in the Pioneer Hall in the battle for the 4th place in the standings. Metalac was looking for its 4th straight win in Valjevo. Undefeated Crvena Zvezda was facing the young and dangerous Mega Leks in Sremska Mitrovica. The Croatian derby was played in Zadar between Zadar and Cibona. At the end of the show we will show you the best 5 actions of the round. But first, the news. After they lost some players, Solnok brought back a familiar face. They signed a contract with Michael Lee from the United States. Solnok is least 3rd team in the ABA League. He played 3 games for Split in 2008 and he was a member of Radnički in 2011 season. Josip Sobin from Zadar is the MVP of the month of December with a 22.6 playing index. The center born in Split averages 12.7 points a game and is the best rebounder in ABA League with 9.1 rebounds per game. One of the most talented young Serbian players, Vanja Marinkovic, signed his first professional contract with Partizan. The 18-year-old will stay in Belgrade for at least 4 years. His best performance this year came against MZT when he scored 20 points and practically decided the game. The first game we will see today was the match between the national champions of Hungary and Macedonia. Solnok hosted MZT. Last week Solnok won in Laktaši for their 2nd away win of the season. MZT came to Hungary with a new coach, but without Marko Simonovski and Damjan Stojanovski. Sead Šehović scored first for MZT, but home team answered right back with the alley-oop from Akos Keller. When Šehović hit his 3rd successful 3-pointer, the guests took the 14-10 lead. But they didn't stop there. Dion Dixon put them up by 8 with this dunk. Then it was Predrag Samardžijski who scored 3 baskets, and MZT had its first double-digit lead with 22-12. Solnok came right back. Christian Wittmann scored 6 straight points to shrink the margin to 7 points. But at the end of the first quarter, Dion Dixon got another 3-pointer and the lead grew to 30-18. It didn't take long for Solnok to answer at the beginning of the 2nd quarter. Strahinja Milošević was twice successful for 3 and MZT's lead shrunk to just 4 points. But the joy was short-lived. MZT got on a 10-0 run. The score was 41-28. Macedonians didn't stop there. After 2 successful offensive rebounds and 2 baskets from Canadian Owen Klassen, the lead grew to 16 points. The last 2 points of the 2nd half were scored by Ted Gibson and the result was 50-38 for MZT. It was Solnok who came out of the break running on all cylinders. Lazarik Jones got the 2 quick baskets for the 10-0 run. The guests looked a little lost. They didn't score in the first 2 minutes of the 2nd half. But then Aleksandar Cvetković finally got his first 2 points of the game. Solnok came within 5 points when Strahinja Milošević hit his 2nd 3-pointer. Solnok was just 3 points behind after the successful 3-point attempt by Marko Brkić. But then MZT answered back with a 7-0 run. Lazarik Jones made it 56-65 after the 30 minutes. Just like at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, it was Solnok who was better at the start of the 4th quarter. David Vojvoda got his first points of the game and the lead for MZT was just 4 points. It was then a back and forth game until last 2 minutes when Lazarik Jones hit a 3-pointer to shrink the lead to just 1 point. But it wasn't meant to be for Solnok. In the last minute of the game, Owen Klassen put his team up by 4 with his offensive rebound. Aleksandar Cvetković then stole the ball for the 76-73 MZT win. Krka, the Slovenian national champions, were hosting Igokea in the Leon Stuken Hall. The squad from Novo Mesto had lost 9 out of the last 10 games, but the champions of Bosnia and Herzegovina were on a bad run too. They lost 2 games in a row. Krka got ahead with a 3-point play by their best scorer, Malcolm Armstead. Igokea answered right back. It was the American Deshaun McClurry who was playing his first game for the guests. Krka was the better team in the first 10 minutes, but when Nikola Dragovic hit his 3-pointer, the lead was only 14-12. Krka replied with 5 straight points from Malcolm Armstead, and after the first quarter the result was 22-14. Krka got its largest lead of the game when Mirko Mulalic got his second successful 3-pointer. Igokea came right back. Duško Bunic scored twice to shrink the lead to 8 points. But it was all Krka from this point on. The oldest member of the team, Jasmin Hukic, scored 8 points and the lead grew to 13. Alexis Magmene then made it 49-33 for the largest lead in the half, which ended with the Igokea basket and score 49-36. At the beginning of the third quarter, Krka got its largest lead of the game when Armstead scored on the counter-attack and drew the personal foul. Branko Jorovic and his teammates then scored back-to-back 3-pointers and the lead for Krka shrunk to 11 points. Duško Bunic cut the lead to just 9 points with his basket. After the 3-pointer by Đorđe Drenovac, Igokea was right back into the game with a 16-4 run. Aleksandar Džikić had to take the timeout and his players responded. Mulalic and Booker were successful for 3 and the lead grew back to 11 points. The beginning of the fourth quarter belonged to Igokea. After the 3-pointer by Jonathan James, the 7-0 run brought them back within 4 points. But that was all they can do. Chris Booker scored 2 baskets to make it 70-61. When Armstead, who finished with 19 points and 6 rebounds, scored with a minute and a half left, the lead grew to 15 and it was obvious that Krka will win the match. Nikola Dragovic hit the last basket of the game to make it 78-67. Krka celebrated its second win in the last 11 games. Six-time champion Partizan Belgrade hosted Union Olimpija in front of 7,000 fans. It was a matchup for the 4th place in the standings, in which Olimpija, who lost its last 5 games in ABA League and Eurocup, became better. Alen Omic scored the game's first 4 points to make it 4-0. Partizan played without the injured Edo Muric, so we didn't get to see the battle of Muric brothers. Partizan answered right back and with the 11 points run made it 11-4. It was Marko Marinovic who kept Olimpija in the game. His 5 points made it 13-12. Milenko Tepic, who is coming back after injury, scored the last points in the first quarter to make it 24-22. Olimpija took the lead again after Gregor Horvat made it 26-24, but it didn't last long. Another run by Partizan, this time 8-0, put the team from Belgrade back up. Olimpija then turned to Blaž Marković, who scored 4 straight points. Sasvo Salin hit a 3-point shot at the end of the half. Olimpija had the lead again. The back and forth continued in the second half. Nikola Milutinov scored 2 quick baskets to make it 44-41. But then Gregor Horvat hit a 3-pointer for a 46-44 Olimpija lead. Đorđe Gagić then came from the bench to make it 48-46 for Partizan, and when Milan Mačvan hit a 3-pointer to make it 54-47, the Serbs had the biggest lead of the game. The final points of the third quarter were scored by Klemen Prepelic to make it 54-50. The fourth quarter started just as the third ended. Prepelic hit a 3-pointer to bring Olimpija within 1, but Partizan then made a 5-0 run. Their captain Dragan Milosavljević scored all the points. Dino Murić and Sasvo Salin each got a successful 3-point shot. Olimpija was back in the lead when Alen Omić scored to make it 71-70. The game broke with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. Dino Murić got a personal foul and then a technical foul. Partizan scored 6 straight points to make it 78-71. It was Mihailo Andrić who scored the back-breaking 3-pointer. Olimpija got a glimpse of hope with Marinovic's 3, but Dragan Milosavljević was money from the free-throw line. The final result was 81-74 for Partizan. Olimpija lost its 5th straight ABA Liga game. Metalac came into the game against third-ranked Cedevita, riding a 3-game winning streak. It was a 4th straight home game for the team from Valjevo, but it didn't begin well. They scored the game's first points, but then Ante Delaš, who surprisingly began the game for Cedevita, hit 2 3-pointers for the 6-2 lead. Metalac then went on the run. Nikola Jevtović brought his team back in the lead. After Nikola Malešević scored back-to-back 3-pointers, the advantage rose to 5 points. The first quarter ended with the score 20-16. In the first minutes of the second quarter, Metalac went on a 9-0 run, which resulted in the first double-digit lead, 27-16. Cedevita didn't score for more than 8 minutes. They only managed 6 points in the quarter. Luckily for them, Metalac wasn't much better. The quarter ended with the score 11-6. The pace of the game picked up in the third quarter. Nikola Jevtović made it plus 13 for Metalac, and Jasmin Repeša was forced to take a timeout. This proved to be a great decision, as young Carlos Gans brought his team to just -4 points. Ivan Ramljak set the stage for the fourth quarter with the basket that made it 45-42. Nikola Malešević scored the first 5 points in the last 10 minutes, and it looked like Metalac will pull away. But then Cedevita made a great run, and with 2.5 minutes left, the team from Zagreb took the lead. Roko Ukić made it 53-52. Marko Jošilo scored his first points of the game with a three-pointer that made it 55-53. Fran Pilepic was money from the free throw line and the score was tied at 55. Marko Ljubicic then made just one free throw that left the door open for Cedevita. At the other end, Tomislav Zupčić missed his three-pointer. The end result was 56-55 for Metalac. This was a fourth straight win for the team from Valjevo. (2,300) people in Sremska Mitrovica turned up for the duel between Mega Leks and the undefeated Crvena Zvezda. The highest player in the league, Boban Marjanovic, scored the first 2 points. Mega countered with a newcomer Dejan Musli, who ended the game with a double-double. He scored 17 points and got 11 rebounds. The score was 8-2 and Dejan Radonic was forced to take his first timeout. This got his guys rolling and the away captain Luka Mitrovic brought his team back with 6 straight points. But the first quarter of the game, which was visited by the head coach of the Serbian national team, Saša Đorđević, belonged to Mega with the score 19-14. Zvezda came back in the second quarter after Mike Zirbes hit 2 consecutive shots and Stefan Jovic got his first three-pointer. Jaka Blažić added his 7 points and Zvezda took the lead with 30-27. Mega closed the gap for a moment, but it was all Zvezda in this moment. The team from Belgrade scored 7 consecutive points and went into the break with the result 41-33. After 2 quick breaks at the start of the third, Zvezda had its first double-digit lead of the night. The Red and Whites held the league MVP Nikola Jokic scoreless for the first 24 minutes. The advantage grew to 12 points midway through the third. Rade Zagorac pulled his team closer at the end of the quarter. The result after 30 minutes was 60-52. At the beginning of the last quarter, Nemanja Krstić brought his team to just -6, but then Jaka Blažić intercepted the ball and made a dunk for a 10-point lead for Zvezda. Mega countered with the 8-0 run. They came all the way back to just -2 after Nemanja Krstić hit a three-pointer to make it 64-62. Just as it looked like Mega will take the game over, Nikola Kalinic exploded with 10 straight points to make it 74-64. Mega then made another comeback and with a minute and 43 seconds left, Nenad Miljenovic hit a free throw to make it 74-70. We were in for a wild finish as Nikola Jokic stole the ball and made it 74-72 with a minute left. Mega even had a chance to win, but Jaka Blažić turned the stolen ball into the points and it was all but over. Miljenovic intentionally missed his second free throw but was unable to get to the ball, and this meant the Red and White had secured a new record of the league with 17 straight victories. Zadar hosted Cibona in the sold-out Krešimir Ćosić Hall. The hosts came into the game with 5 wins in the last 6 games, but the guests were even more successful with 6 wins in 7 games. Cibona started the game with a 6-0 run. It took Zadar more than 6 minutes to get their first points. But it was then time for their run, and at the end of the first quarter they were in the lead with 15-10. The second quarter started with another three-pointer from Franco Shango. The lead grew to +8. When Josip Sobin, the MVP of the month of December, got his first basket of the game, the lead was more than 10 points. Cibona didn't score for more than 7 minutes. Zadar's run was 21-2. When the home captain Ive Ivanov scored back-to-back baskets, the lead grew to 13 points. The lead grew even bigger after the three-point play of James Florence, who got the final basket of the first half. The first 20 minutes ended with Zadar being in front, 38-20. It was Cibona who started the second half better. They scored the first 4 points of the third quarter, but then Marko Ramljak answered and the lead grew to 20 points. This is the Marko Ramljak layup. Cibona got its first successful three-pointer in their 14th try. It was Dominik Maura who scored it. But that was all she wrote for the team from Zagreb. Zadar went on the 12-0 run, and the lead at the last break was 27 points. It was 60-33. The lead grew to 30 when former Cibona player Boris Barac hit a two-pointer 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Ante Žižić put a stop to the bleeding for the moment, and Cibona scored two back-to-back baskets to pull within 76-41. Franco Shango set his ABA League personal best with 17 points, and the lead was back at 30. Slaven Rimac then gave the opportunity to his young players at the end. 17-year-old Nik Slavica scored his first points in the ABA League. It was 77-51 at the end for Zadar's sixth win in 7 games. Here are all the results from week 17. The shock therapy with the coaching change worked for MZT. Krka got the second highest win of the round. Partizan was better than Olimpija. Metalac and Crvena Zvezda won in the waning seconds of their matches against Cedevita and Leks. Zadar won convincingly against Cedevita. Levski didn't travel to Podgorica, so the match was registered as a 20-0 Budućnost win. Let's look at the standings. No change in the first 3 places. Partizan holds the 4th place, Cibona is 5th, Olimpija 6th. 8 wins now for Metalac and Zadar, who has the game less. Krka, Mega and Solnok have 7 wins, MZT 6th, Igokea 5. Levski still remains glued to the bottom. Milan Mačvan is our MVP of the 17th round. He managed to reach the playing rating of 30. He got there by scoring 21 points, adding 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 stolen balls, and he drew 8 personal fouls in 28 minutes he played in the win against Olimpija. Let's look at the top 5 plays of the 17th round. In 5th place, Blaž Mahković, Union Olimpija with this dunk. In 4th place, Strahine Milošević from Solnoki with this dunk. In third place, Nemanja Krstić, Mega Leks. In second place, Eliub from Ako Škeler, Solnok. And in the first place, Filip Kraljević, Zadar against Cibona. The 18th round starts on Saturday with a match between Olimpija and Leks. Metalac hosts Partizan, MZT Skopje hosts Krka. Two more games then on Sunday, while the round closes on Monday with the game between Crvena, Zvezda and Zadar. That's everything for today, thanks for watching!
Liga!